Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make these super cute little gnomes. These are so adorable. These are made from upcycled tote bags and little gift bags with little felt toppers and filled with Fairfield World polyfill and poly pellets. All supply links for making these gnomes are down in the information section. So without further ado, let's jump in and let me show you how to make them. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take an old bag. This is just a canvas bag that I got at a conference. It even has some stains on it. What I liked about it was the color of it. Now, don't worry about the fact that it's got a design because we're gonna be covering that up with the gnome's beard anyway. First stage you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and flip your canvas bag the other direction. Go ahead and trim off the handles. You do not need them, just get rid of them. They're just gonna get in your way. And you can save these if you want to. And my bag is too wide. It looks more like a square, which is gonna make a very short, fat squatty. I want mine to be more tall, my gnome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in with my scissors. It does not need to be perfect. And I'm going to trim off about 4 inches. Each one of these squares on my mat is about 1 inch. So I'm just gonna do a rough cut about the 4-inch mark. So you're gonna take your fabric glue. You could sew this if you want to, but this is so easy that you don't have to sew it. Take your fabric glue and run it along the entire seam right here. Just right along there. And then fold that down and give yourself a really good seam. And so now we have a bag that's more vertical, and guess what? Because you used a bag, most of it was already sewed. If you have a nice, long, tall, skinny bag like this, you don't have to do the cutting part. So it really just depends on what kind of bag you have. I don't want to have the little pokey bits down at the bottom. I want it to be a nice rounded bottom. So simple thing, take some rubber bands and just tie the rubber bands around the bottom. And it'll make it look like it's more of a rounded bottom. Now you have a nice rubber banded bottom. Do the same thing to the other side, and you can do this while this is drying. It's just gonna hold it in place more than anything. Try and be consistent about how much you are tying at the bottom. You don't wanna have one side be really big and one side be really narrow, meaning the little piggy tails, pretend it's like hair, these need to be about the same size. You don't want one to be 4 inches and one 1 inch, because that'll make your bag lopsided. Okay, now let everything dry, so just set this aside and let's make our hat part. So my felt is 12 inches tall and I want to make this a square, so I'm going to cut at the 12-inch mark. So I just got my rotary blade here and just do a little trim going all the way across. You turn this into a hat. Basically, you're going to turn this into a cone. So you fold over the first part, make a diamond, just like this. You go a little further than center. Run your fabric glue along the edge here. Hold it down, try and get to that point. The whole key thing about this is you wanna have a nice good point, and then fold this over. Start at the top, give yourself a nice good crease, and the point of the clips here is you're gonna clip them in place so that it doesn't come undone. You're gonna clip one at the top, and then give yourself a little bit of a crossover. Try and make it as flush as possible. And then you're gonna do one clip right here, and then just let this dry. So now it's time to cut the beard. So this is this Mongolian faux fur, and it comes in a ton of different colors. I love the gray for the big guys, but for little ones we're gonna make, we're actually gonna do it in white. And basically what you do is you lay it out and you start pulling all the fur upwards, and you find your line of how you want your beard to look. Basically it's gonna be like a big U shape. You can kind of go into a little bit of a V, and you want the width of your beard to be a little narrower than the width of the bag that you're gonna use. So because I have a design I wanna cover up and I don't wanna see it because I want the plain on the back, I want my beard to be about as big as the bag. So it looks like almost the entire part of the gnome is like bottom half of the gnome is beard. And then just come in with your good fabric scissors and do a good cut. And as always, all links for the supplies I'm using are gonna be down in the information section, so check those out. So here you can see I didn't even do like a perfect cut. It doesn't matter. So start shaping up your beard. You're basically gonna give it a little bit of like a brush. Get out any of the extra fur pieces that may have just been missed in the cut. And it's starting to look like a little beard, like a little Santa beard. All right, so let's go back to our bag. It's probably pretty close to being dry, so we're gonna invert it again. It's got a nice round edge. And here is where we did our glued seam, and you can't even tell. Now to make sure our gnome does not wobble all over the place, I'm gonna fill this up with the polyfill poly pellets from Fairfield World. I'm just gonna take a little plastic baggie and I am going to fill this up about a quarter of the way. All right, so we got a baggie full of the polyfill poly pellets. This is gonna give our bag some weight at the bottom so it won't wibble and wobble. Now it's time to fill it with our premium polyester fiberfill polyfill from Fairfield World. Polyfill is an awesome stuffing, it's great. And just stuff this up almost to the top. Don't go all the way to the top, pretty darn close. Once you get all the way to the top and you get it nice and full, stuff it down and gather yourself up a section, and you are gonna use a rubber band. Rubber bands are absolutely awesome for this project because it just makes life so easy. Plus, it cinches it up and you don't have to worry about anything splitting. So fast and easy. So this is now, and if you notice, it stays because we add the polyfill. You don't have to do all of it. This is now where you want to come in and kind of shape your little gnome and get it exactly the way you want to. Now it's time to put all of the pieces together. So here is our hat. I've taken the clips off and it is nice and solid. Filled it also with the polyfill. I have a little extra just to see how much I want to add or take away. I'm going to try and cover up as much of the black as possible so we don't see it. So I'm just going to take my bead of glue and I'm actually going to go down and add glue all to here so it really stays put. It doesn't go anywhere. Really just stick it on there. Place my beard and have it kind of tuck up into the top. And you can see there is my beard covering up the front of my bag and the back of my bag, and this is gonna get covered up because look how much extra felt. There was a little tag on here at the very beginning. I forgot to mention that I did snip off, but you're really never gonna see that. Now it's time to apply glue, just going all the way around. This is just a really good fabric glue from Beacon. Hot glue works too, whatever glue that works, nice fast drying glue for you. And go ahead and start tucking your hat onto your gnome, just like this. Get it to tuck right in and pull in there. There it is. See, look how pretty that is, that little canvas, that bag. Such a great way to upcycle that bag. Turn it into something cute. Next, you're gonna place your bead on here, and be careful because there is a hole in your bead, so wanna place it sideways. Add a little dollop of glue. I like going right in that center. Find the center of wherever your gnome is, and that is your cutie little nose. And then just let that dry. Look how cute our gnome looks already, very gnomey-like. Next, we're going to make a little flower for our gnome. So I've just taken a piece of another color of felt. This one happens to be a really pretty yellowy color. Have fun with your colors, and that's where you can really turn all of your gnomes into different seasons. So I turned it into an ovally circle, and I'm just cutting a spiral. So when it's all said and done, it looks like a spiral. And then I'm gonna cut 2 leaves. Here's one. They just look like leaves, for lack of a better term. With your glue, take your spiral, roll it, starting from the outside, and just start rolling it in on itself and spiraling it in. And this is gonna make your beautiful little rosette flower. And just keep rolling it in, just like this. Very cute. A little dollop of glue on the back. Seal it in just like that. Take our little gnome and we're gonna place it kind of right on the side of its head, kind of like right here. So take a little bit of your glue, place it right on the edge. I like going kind of at the seam so it doesn't look like it's floating on my gnome. So a little bit of glue right there. Place my little rosette. Go down, add a little bit more glue on the back side, and then each of the petals for my little flower. And then just a little bit of glue on either side to make sure that it is sealed in place. And that is how you make the gnome. This bag I've already added in my rubber bands to make it rounded. So you can see all these little cute tote bags that you guys get, or that I get all the time from various packages or presents or things like that. Save them and they make awesome little gnome bodies for a smaller gnome. Here's a sped up version of how to make the tiny gnome. So here they are, the cute little gnomes, 2 big ones, 2 smaller ones, all in fall colors. These are gonna look so super cute in front of my fireplace for the autumn time frame and perfect for even into Thanksgiving, but really just for the entire fall season. Thank you guys so much for joining me and checking out my cutie fall gnomies, little gnomies. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye everybody.